The news review segment. It's quite a morning, exciting morning, so many things, but God day, we day. Welcome aboard. And this morning from my end, the Daily Graphic, the Daily Statesman, the Ghanaian Publisher, the Republic Press, and the Business and Financial Times. Malavi, good
Great.
morning.
I'm going to be doing the Ghanaian Times, the Daily Guide, the Daily Dispatch, the Finder, and the Daily Searchlight. It's still a thankful Friday for us here at the Multimedia Group because we're celebrating 25 years of the Lord's goodness. 25 years of Joy FM, 25 years of the Multimedia Group. We've got a few things happening today, you know.
Yesterday I posted that bit on social media. Something is happening, today, and it was just exciting, the responses of people. Oh, what is it? Does it have to do with your new studio? What is it about? The day has come.
It started with the Multimedia Choir, and if you've been watching the show from about 5 a.m., then you would have enjoyed the praises that we've been singing to the Lord. Let's dig into the newspapers, shall we, Ben?
Let's start with the Daily Graphic. And of course, it's 10 days more to election 2020. The days creeping slowly towards December 10? The 7th. 10? 10? Just 10. So today's the 27th, 3 more days in the month of November, 7 days to go. It's actually not the coming Monday, the Monday after the next one. And then we'll see our level.
I'll check how I'm feeling on Monday, because right now, I'm normal. I don't feel like there's anything coming.
Well, for most people out there, I've been hitting the streets, and most of them have determined where they're going to vote. And for them, it's not a big deal. It's not so much of, they're just waiting for D-Day, and that's what it should be. Go vote, go back into your home or whatever, and let's stay peaceful. Akufo-Addo to win first round, projected to poll 51.7%, and the NDC 40.4%. That's a survey, and the NDC dismisses the findings. Of course, we had Ben Efson come out recently to share his. We've also now had, the University of Ghana Political Science Department, supported by the Konrad Adenauer group, to come out with this one, and a whole lot of responses. The NDC also putting quite some stuff out there on social media. Should time allow us, we shall get into that. Panelists optimistic about peaceful elections, 2020 elections. Akufo-Addo Mahama to sign peace pact. And that's a very positive development. Exciting times ahead. Economy in full flight. We all knew yesterday the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, was actually talking about the economy, the gains we've made as a country per, his thinking, his administration's work. And you can get details of that in the Daily Graphic. But let's go to some other stories of prominence in the Daily Graphic this morning. I think I'm looking for this section, this page. Let me quickly get to that. Okay, so guard against ethnocentric comments, parties urged. And I felt this was important to highlight because of what that could trigger ahead of election 2020. On the back page of the Daily Graphic, 8 galamseyers die in Ayamfuri mine collapse. And that's in the Upper Denchira West District in the Central region. It appears time and again we hear of these horrid stories, and maybe the right measures not being put in place. I can recall even, on the tip of my fingers, quite a number of incidents. And the Graphic Needy Fund donates to boy who ingested caustic soda. That's it for me with the Daily Graphic.
All right, let's do the Ghanaian Times. Front page of the Times. Security agencies march for peace. IGP CDS warn gates crashes. Ignore Mahama. Ghanaians already know who brought free SHS, Bawumia, but NDC insists Mahama introduced it. So this debate certainly not going away, not anytime soon. This one is a bit confusing. First phase Pokwasi interchange opens to traffic, because I am a frequent user of this stretch, and unless I don't understand phase 1. So if you look at the Kaneshi, the Obeche-Bilamte interchange, the phase 1 of it was commissioned this week. And it's a
bit of a flyover
it's an
stretch.
entire stretch.
Right.
So whether it flies or even if it was below and you were going smooth like that, then that's phase one, isn't it? Okay, well,
there's a visible difference.
Because with there's a tear in the face. Wait, but this one says first phase Pokwasi interchange opens to traffic.
I think my understanding of phase means that one stretch or whatever, work on it is complete, and there's nothing left to be.
So let me describe the road that I use. The reason I'm confused about the phase one being open to traffic. It's not a complete stretch that has been finished, because you go a little bit and you have to divert, and then you move on to
so the detours are still there.
Road. Exactly.
Which means that
so it's not. I actually thought it was going to be completed this week so that we will drive and have a smooth drive, and I haven't seen it. So I get confused when they say that the first phase of the project has been open to traffic. What's been open is what I've been experiencing for a while now. Nothing has changed, really. Maybe I should visit the engineer and get an explanation, since I'm making so much noise about this.
Maybe we should, since we're not engineers.
The back page of the paper, though, Ghana Gas fails to pay $942 million debts owed the GMPC. Tourism Minister inaugurates Tetekwashi Cocoa Farm reception facility. Is also in the the paper today. If you go to page 3, they've got some crime stories. 3 granted 1.6 million Ghana cedis bail for allegedly conspiring to steal gold. 4 in trouble for stealing excavator parts. They didn't steal the excavator, they stole the parts. That's the Ghanaian Times newspaper.
I guess the logic would be, if you can't carry the entire excavator, which is too big, you could take the parts.
I have to think about it.
It brings to mind, there's a mini mall in my neighborhood, and one day they woke up, very sad incident. Their plant that was there, people had cannibalized the plant. The generator.
You say plants.
The generator. Those bigger
because ones. They couldn't obviously carry it. They dismantled it.
They took practically every piece out of it. And so that was how they were able to
punish the stealers.
The Daily Statesman this morning, Queen Mother in tears as Esuboni number 3 gets electricity after 580 years. I don't know about this, but 580 years. Initially when I saw it, I was thinking, is it 50? Is it 58? 508.
Yeah.
It's...
Sometimes we sit here and is what we see. There are places that don't have some of the basic things that we don't even appreciate. Because
potable drinking water.
It's become common for us, but it's an essential commodity for others that they don't easily get. Yeah. You're talking about plants generator. Yeah.
They are thinking, the bread and butter matters.
Exactly.
And that's why sometimes when our politicians are all high and mighty, lofty issues and macroeconomy and all of that, you ask yourself, Charlie, how is it trickling down to the ordinary Ghanaian who is feeling the pinch in some, armpit of the country?
Yeah.
Free SHS to decide 2020 election. University of Ghana, Ben Efson predict victory for Kufu. In that research by the University of Ghana's Political Science Department, they said that free SHS is over 60%. People saying that that's how relevant it is to them. I'm just waiting for election day. I just want to see the dynamics, how people will respond, whether it's going to flow with these polls, what the differences are going to be, whether the likes of Ben Efson, who is saying, don't judge me because I've got 4 out of 5 correct. I just want to see the dynamics and how the analysts will now come back and look at it. Of course, we'll be doing our own in-house analysis on these matters. But IMF did the rescue mission after your mismanagement. Baumia Pupu's Mahama's campaign mantra. That's it for the Daily Statesman.
All right, let's do the Daily Dispatch. And Ben Efson still been justifying the predictions that he's made, given the NPP some 52.6% in the December polls. So here's what the Dispatch has done. If you look at the front page, they've put the University of Ghana Political Science Department survey beside that of Ben Efson. So the 2 polls on the front page of the paper, UG gives 51.7% to the NPP and 40.4% to the NDC. And so Ben Efson has put his own by the side. So you see that whichever way, even though his figures are a bit more, it's still a win for NPP and NDC. But if you look at Hillary Clinton and all the polls that said she was going to win the U.S. elections in 2016, people still think, Charlie, hold on a minute. These are still polls. It's still not the December 7 polls.
Well, she did win.
So you heard.
She won the popular vote. Oh. Not the electoral college where it counted.
White House. All right, he has contested every parliamentary election since 1990. This is a story that they first told yesterday. I think it's a continuation of that story in the Daily Dispatch. I'll win 2020 presidential elections, Hassan Ayarga. I haven't seen him feature in the polls, though, but he's super confident that he's going to win the 2020 elections. His name is Hassan Ayarga of the APC. Okay, so how the regions voted for 275 MPs in the 2016 elections. You'd find this is picked from the multimedia platform, the election headquarters, myjoyonline.com. So what you see there showing the trends in 2016 by way of the regions is kind courtesy election headquarters.
And that just lets you know that ahead of the elections, during the elections, after the elections, you get the most credible information from right here.
Absolutely.
Why would you want to be anywhere else? The Ghanaian publisher now, UG survey findings, 51.7%. It's a repetition of what we've been discussing, but the findings there as well. Ignore desperate Mahama. Ghanaians know who brought free SHS. IGP warns against impersonation. That's it with the Ghanaian publisher newspaper.
All right, let's do the Daily Guide. Front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. 8 die in mining pits. A sad one there. Soldiers police serve notice. Don't be deceived. NDC can't create jobs, according to Second Lady Samira Baumia. And then the bigger one, Nana to beat Mahama, UG survey gives the NPP's candidate 51.7%. There's nothing to rescue Baumia to NDC. Let's check out the entertainment page in the center spread. Beyond the return will cement Ghana's relationship globally, according to the sector minister. I'm talking about the tourism, arts and culture minister. I am a number one, Burna Boy boasts after Grammy's nomination. He's my number one, by the way, is Burna Boy. Yeah.
Were you just getting all Burna Boy?
Yeah, Burna is my man.
Okay, so do you like all the boys? So I know you're not one for Kelvin Boy. Because you murdered him one of, in recent times.
I like his talents.
Are you a Stone Boy fan?
I like his Stone Boy? Eche. Ebeyo. Angloga connection. Ebeyo. I don't just like
connection
him.
There.
I don't just like him. I love him.
Okay. All right.
On the back page of the Daily Guide, thousands mourn Maradona. Lawyer accuses medics. Oh, they say, I haven't heard this angle. I just know that the people of Argentina are super proud. He's been buried, by the way. And they say he was our bad boy. Like, we loved him like that. There were people crying, people happy, celebrating the legend who had passed. But this angle of it, thousands of people took to the streets to bid an emotional farewell to the Argentina football legend Diego Maradona yesterday. Maradona died. Okay, gives a background. I just want to fast forward to the medics bit, but I'll look for it. When we come back, I'll share that with you.
Likely something we can do ahead of sports with Oreku Ampofo. But the Business and Financial Times now, maybe you would have found it by the time I'm done with this. It says 3.6 billion Ghana cedis in interest paid so far by ESLA PLC. Now, the big question, are Ghanaians compromising their privacy when registering to vote? You know, that conversation has come up on the back of the Electoral Commission putting voters' details out there, making them accessible, and the debate still continues from different quarters. Excess power and utilized gas cost $1.2 billion yearly. Imagine that. SEC begins settlement of partial bailout package, and improved insurance sector to boost investor confidence and drive growth. That's according to the Hollard GCEO. So those are some interesting stories in the Business and Financial Times paper this morning.
Okay, let's do the front page. We have delivered retain NPP on December 7. Dr. Baumia touts government achievements. And then let integrity and transparency guide your actions. That's a call from the former President John Agyekum Kufuor. President Kufuor asks Central Region to retain him to do more. NPP to win elections by 51.7%. That's still the UG survey that's been quoted by almost all the newspapers today. On election 2020 still, IGP warns against impersonation. That will be it for The Finder.
Right. Let's start with the Daily Statesman today. That's where I start from. Is that the final paper?
Yes.
Right. So that story about Esuboni number 3 getting electricity after 508 years, and that's on page 3. It says it was all joy at Esuboni number 3, a farming community near Nkoko in the Kwewu West municipality of the Eastern region, when the area was finally connected to the national grid after over 500 years of failed attempts. And no wonder the queen of Esuboni number 3, Nana Tenewa Safwa II, could not hold her tears of joy during the commissioning of the electrification project in the area. At a colorful ceremony, well, let me skip that, but according to the Queen Mother, she had the opportunity to meet Joyce Opoku Boateng during the MPP primaries and put before her one major challenge confronting the community, and that was the result. And so, Esuboni.
Okay.
That's the story there, but a very good development, and like we were saying earlier, something that we take for granted that in this community has, is something very big. And I know they're very grateful for this one. Looking at, the town's leadership and all of that coming in here. Good initiative.
So there's a last paper that I didn't review, but there's a story in there that I want to share, and that's the Daily Searchlight newspaper. If you look at the front page, it's got the headline, 82% Ghanaians do not obey COVID-19 protocols. So we're back to this conversation.
82%?
82%, which means only 8% of the people in the country are protocol compliance. So the Director General of the Ghana Health Service is saying that even the health hygiene, the one that says wash your hands, use the hand sanitizer, that one, dear Bobo, is only the 8% that's wearing the mask. And even that, we know that some people don't wear it right. It's sometimes you don't know if it's a fashion statement, but check this out. In October, the cases that we recorded 98, but in November, remember that November hasn't quite ended. We've got 124 cases in November as against 98 in October this year. The total number of active cases stand at 775 with 323 deaths. The cases rose from September at 91 cases to 1,098 in October. And this is Dr. Kumar Boaji speaking. Where was he? Ghana is considering adopting 2 vaccines from the UK and USA, which have 90% and 94% efficacy. As a result, the Ghana Health Service and the Ministry of Health and other stakeholders have constituted a technical committee. We talked greatly about this, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? But essentially, Charlie, let's adhere to the protocol. So Ben and I visited one of the testing centers. There are people testing every day, a good number of Ghanaians. So the disease is still with us. There are people suffering from it. You've got to protect yourself and protect your loved ones. We have our children at home. We come out every day. If you don't do the right thing, you make the situation worse for everybody.
And tied to all of that, you may have a good immune system, and you may not, even if you contracted it, you may not suffer the full rigors of the illness, but maybe you're going to your grandmother somewhere, some elderly person in your office and all of that. You go and, pass it on to them, and that turns into something else. So let's all stay, very cautious. The coronavirus is still with us. But I just wanted to do this story, which is related to what you were reading. The U.S. Supreme Court has overturned limits on congregation. They are actually doing a bit of the reverse of what is pertaining in other countries that are experiencing second waves.
As for US, it's not the standard. We know, not the standard for COVID, as in COVID compliance, and not the standard also as we've seen with elections.
I guess it's the leadership and look at how Trump has even gone after Anthony Fauci on some of these matters. But the story saying The U.S. Supreme Court has temporarily blocked New York from enforcing attendance limits at places of worship in areas hit hard by the coronavirus. Now, in a 5-4 vote, the court ruled that the state's congregational cap violated rights to religious freedom. And, allow them to go.
Oh, yeah.
Does it also mean allow them to die? As they have a quarter of the deaths globally and still counting. But this one I wanted to do on page 20. Election observers must be impartial, law-abiding. Now, that's the Electoral Commission saying that, and it has called on the observers of the December 7, 2020 general election to be impartial and non-confrontational. It also urged them to abide by Ghana's electoral laws. And, Dr. Bosman Eric Asari was also speaking. According to him, election observers are mandated to comply with the instructions of officials at the polling station unless such instructions are manifestly unlawful. So that is what he's been saying. I find it interesting, though, because these observers, usually they would be complying but the point also made that they shouldn't take the law into their own hands and think that because you're an observer, you can do whatever you feel like doing. So we just pray for deeper collaboration between all parties. That's it for me.
Okay, we shall now do myjoyonline.com whilst we get ready to open the page and review what we have. I just wanted to bring you the other leg of the Maradona story where the lawyers are accusing medical doctors. It says that his lawyer yesterday accused medics of criminal idiocy and demanded...
Idiocy?
Yes, sir. And demanded an investigation into the football legend's death. And this was as fans filed past his coffin at the presidential palace.
Does it have anything to do with the procedure he had before? Because, he had a procedure, the clot in his
the brain stuff. I don't know. That's where it ends. But.
But idiocy. I mean, I was thinking they would say negligence or something because then you have something legally speaking. But idiocy, anyway.
So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I think the celebrations have overshadowed this bit about the lawyer's accusations. Yeah. Okay, so myjoyonline.com. There you have it. Let's see.
Well,
they're confused?
That...
or they think we have not...
Were they confused?
Are they confused or they think we have short memories?
Yes,
About me and free SHS debate. So that debate that simply won't go away. We have created over 2 million jobs in the formal sector. And my jawline does the best. They break the issues down. This was Baumia's lecture yesterday. And you can get updated just by going through myjoyonline.com. And then if you miss our choir performing, the multimedia choir, the live worship, you can catch up on myjoyonline.com. NDC demands credits for implementing free SHS. MPP will win 2020 election, University of Ghana survey. Ghana going cashless is not limited to smartphone users, according to Achi Hesse. EC must not be appointed by ruling governments. PPP flag bearer says so. Ekufuado's sweet talked Ghanaians into power. That's according to the NDC's candidate, John Mahama. And there's the full text of Baumia's Future of Ghana's Economy lecture yesterday. All on myjoyonline.com. Now, if you cross over to the US, Trump finally says it's going to be very hard to concede, but he says if they declare Biden as president-elect, he's going to respect that. He says it's going to be hard to concede, and then, he quickly jumps in with the allegations again.
I mean, it won't stop. I think it will go until January the 20th. I think even till the very day when the inauguration must happen, it will still go on. But at least positive signals from him in recent
And this
times.
is the first time that he's speaking directly to this issue after the elections.
Well, he did a few days ago allow for the transitional process. That was some level of concession.
Talking and taking questions as well and addressing the issues directly, something he has never done.
Well, I think Nipaya Diosai, congratulations to Trump, albeit belated. But look, can you imagine if, he weren't doing this now? At least we can say, well,
who cares?
Better late than never.
But you can
better
decide.
Late than never.
Listen, you can decide that you won't go. But if Electoral Commission says that you have lost an election and you say you won't go, sit there and watch if the state institutions, the security agencies will watch you and sit in that administrative office and say, I won't go.
Have you seen that image where, someone is at the Trump Hotel and the person says, oh, so you're paying, you have to check out at 11 a.m. And the guest says, what if I decide not to leave? Do you see the correlation? So Trump refusing to leave, the presidency, and this one here too. Well, it's a wrap.
He said something, I remember, in that speech that really annoyed me. He said they did a thing like a third world country where you can hack computers. I was like, gee!
Trump just gets under your skin, doesn't he?
With that comment that I think I usually like him, but that comment
is the same person who said something about certain other countries that I can't repeat on air. He's the same person. Why are you surprised? Oh, the something countries. You've forgotten that already?
That one, I don't totally disagree with him. Stay with us with Sports. I still like him.